Before we begin, I'd like to be clear about something. I made this series to have a fun little joke time to determine which class is the strongest one in Team Fortress 2, and through all this writing and swearing, I have been keeping something secret. The sniper is the best class in the game. If you're cheating. Yeah, without fail, this is the best raw numbers class in the game, as long as you never miss, and for this reason, someone with 80 neurons firing in the same direction was able to put the metaphorical dick in Valve's incredible flawless servers running Valve Anti-Cheat, otherwise known as Valve Allows Cheats, by creating a program that spurts out bots that play sniper perfectly. Since VAC is SAC, most TF2 players have undoubtedly noticed these large influx of fucks that have plagued every casual server. They play better than your average god. This has made the game badder, and all this stems because the sniper is ridiculously busted. I wouldn't even have a problem claiming that this class is the best one in the game, because if you look at the numbers, it gets a little wild. Let me give you a little played out scenario. Sniper enters the game, he grabs his crotch, grabs his ass cheeks, grabs his long weapon, and then grabs his sniper rifle, and then trundles forward towards a hill that overlooks all of reality, because map making requires having sightlines that are unimpeded by any geometry. He scopes in, and instantly he could pop someone in the head for 150 damage. 4 classes possess 125 max health, but if he waits a measly 3.3 seconds, the body shot ramps up to 150 damage, and headshots put out 450, enough to down the highest overhealed health pool character in the game. Meanwhile, in general, this weapon has the laundry list stats of no spread, no damage ramp up, or fall off, so it's a perfectly accurate highest damage potential weapon that works from any distance. So, let's be honest, is Sniper randomly the best class in Team Fortress 2? Well, in order to determine an answer to that question, we have to follow the formula I've laid out to this point. Here is round 8 of the series, that's with 2 E's of course, for me lack brain fog, me write dialogue, good enough. I have narrowed the 7 classes I've evaluated so far into 3 of 4 seats. Those top 4 will be stacked against each other in the finale as I assess which one is the best overall. So the point is, the remaining classes, Sniper and Medic, can't both get that seat. But before we pass judgment, we talk about the class's strength in all 3 of the following. Casual, the convergence of moron. Competitive, the convergence of move on, because honestly, Valve isn't coming to help at any point. And finally, man versus machine, the convergence of boron, and other metals probably, get it to robots. Alright, Sniper, I mean, you gotta love this kind of archetype in the first-person shooter, right? Oh, actually, sorry, I do this sometimes, I got my words mixed up. I meant that you gotta fucking loathe this archetype in any first-person shooter because it ruins the flow of combat and is no fun for anyone except the guy with the big one-shotting device. But before I keep getting mad, and before we talk about the game modes, let's run down some of the positives and negatives of Sniper. Positive number 1, he's overly good at making people's heads ache. I suppose both physically and metaphorically, actually. Ridiculously unfun design. To reiterate, if the sniper hits you, no matter who you are, you can die in one shot. And the only real defense against him is essentially being in an abstract painting. So find a wall, guard the wall, enjoy the wall. That's all. Dumbass class. Positive number 2, his functional range puts him far away from combat, meaning that no one is great at killing him except for himself. There is an asterisk here, basically being that you really need your team to defend you a little bit, otherwise you are suddenly in danger from 5 additional classes. At least you can always rely on the large deluge of a class heavy always sucking at killing you. The flanking characters, the spy, and even weird stuff like Pyro and Engie can come up and give you a free endoscopy, but if you have someone up there checking out the corners and defending your frail, I say frail, but he has as much HP as the other light classes, but anyway, frail, slow sniper body, you can have free reign on every class in the game except for the opposing sniper. Dumbass class. Positive number 3, you can throw piss on people and it makes them die. Best class. I guess we should touch on some of the class's negatives real quick. Oh yeah, if you suck balls, Sniper is the worst class in the game by far. Look at that mic beak. Balls. Oh god, look at that. Yeah, you need to actually hit shots, otherwise you will be useless. In fact, if you have 2 teams comprised of the same number of players and you can't aim at all, it's essentially like you're just dead all the time. The best functionality you have if you can't aim is being a very feeble distraction for someone to come kill, which might give your less bad players a little more freedom to go do some work. If you can barely aim on anything else, you'll find moderate success. Even if you deal 3 whole damage, you're outperforming a missing sniper. Other than that, though, the sniper really possesses few negatives. He's 100% skill based and is only as good as you are, which is why it's so good to hack a sniper. Distance doesn't matter, time doesn't matter, movement skills don't matter, nothing matters to the sniper if he just aims properly. Sounds like dumpy dog shit, right? It is, and it is a real drag on this otherwise fun deathmatch based gameplay. At this point, I normally go over weapon choices, but this is actually a pretty lackluster class to run down. Take the stock rifle. It does everything it needs to. It shoots the bullets that do insane damage. It's perfectly accurate, you know. Or you could run this rifle with hardly changed stats, or this one with a couple random differences. Or you give this baby mode rifle that has no more headshots, but just is good for putting body shots into people. Or you can become Hanzo Overwatch with no ability to move, limited ammo, and way less flexibility with how you shoot your complete bullshit RNG arrows around. Or you know, an actually balanced bow class. So yeah, the primaries are very disinteresting overall. The secondaries, on the other hand, are very disinteresting overall. You have the back item, which means you basically don't get a secondary. You simply derive some benefits like blocking spy backstabs, health regen, immunity to fire, or to aim punch. And then you're in real piece of shit, and some of the lowest DPS secondaries in the game that are so boring that I don't feel the need to talk about them. And then the sniper melee is genuinely some of the least discussable content in the whole game. This knife makes them bleed. Okay, moving on to casual. Casual sniper is ridiculous. Capital R, really ridiculous, removed from game request. If you're up against a good sniper, it's hell on earth. Despite your skill, your game sense, your knowledge, you honestly have to get lucky that they make a misstep against you. Or you could spend all your time trying to bother them, but then the funometer goes down a couple notches. The only caveat to the whole sniper oppresses the game thing is that you sometimes have no team to speak of. Good player or not, if you're the only guy alive, the scouts and shit are going to be lawnmowering you. Furthermore, you may be stunningly good, but then they're running 5 snipers, so good luck popping off a kill and then not getting ragged on simultaneously. Reminder that you only have 125 HP and a full power body shot deals 150 damage. So even if you're up against a 5-year-old fat child, you're going down in this scenario. Rest of the time, enjoy the Jason Bourne roleplays. You jump around, fall off scaffolding, shoot everything in the head, and get accused of cheating. It is the sniper way. Conversely, the competitive experience. Oh boy, competitive sniper. Well, this is going to be a real swell time. Hey look, it's the class that absolutely ruins the game. What a too many swears, gotta add it. What a frickin' foolish class. No joke, it took me 3 minutes to come up with an F word that wasn't the F word. Anyway, it doesn't ruin 6v6, but I'll make a point of that in a second. When you're playing the format that includes one of every class, called Highlander, you now suddenly have to consciously remember that you will die if you try to peek anything. So, who's having fun yet? While a slight exaggeration, if you're playing with a worse sniper than the opposing team, you're probably due to lose. It's insane the impact this class has, especially considering that he's not even in the fight. He's like back on some rock. It's akin to a quarterback in football playing exclusively in the end zone, but his arm is the size of a surfboard, so he can just toss the ball across the entire field. This mutant man wouldn't be acceptable in the game, and neither should this class. To make matters worse, the metagame is oftentimes to overheal the sniper to 185 max HP in order to make him immune to quick headshots from the opposing sniper. In the more competitive format of 6v6, everything is really fast, and while you do see people trying to play sniper, it's way harder to make anything happen. And as previously mentioned, if you don't hit anything, you are practically dead, and with only 6 players per team, not accomplishing anything is very bad. Let's talk about MVM and then it's verdict time. In this format, sniper is sleeper OP, and no one seems to get this. Once again, man versus machine is a PvE game mode where bots move in huge clumps and predefined lines. This means you can just sit like far away and pop heads very easily. Now, if sniper was just like he was in the regular game, he'd be abysmal. Except he's now augmented his bullets to have nuclear bombs attached to them. On headshot, everything around the target explodes. What, where, why, how, huh? It's crazy that Valve figured this would be a great addition to sniper, considering he also does some of the greatest damage to large robots, so he's not only a huge single target damage dealer, but he's also one of the best AoE in the game mode. Questionable game design. Okay, verdict time. And this one is brutal for me to do, because compared to our final class, the medic, I literally cannot give this seat to the sniper. It feels so wrong because he has the highest potential in the game as well. But he's held back by the simple fact that he's all or nothing. A feeble class with little in the way of mitigating anything and is only good if you hit shots. And yeah, it is the best by far if you hit shots. But I didn't give the entire story, because while Sniper won't be taking this here final seat, he's doing what he does best, sitting far back on a hill waiting to take out one of these classes. So while Sniper being the best class in TF2 is a long shot, that hasn't held him back before.
Dumbass class. Dumbass class.